What's up everybody, it's Narrator and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving headfirst into the world of electric vehicles, or EVs for short. We'll be tackling the most frequently asked questions about EVs. From how they work to the charging infrastructure and everything in between, consider this your one-stop shop for all things electric vehicles. So buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and let's get electrified. Alright, so let's break down the basics. What exactly is an electric vehicle? In simple terms, an EV uses an electric motor powered by a battery to get you moving instead of a gasoline engine. No gas, no emissions, just pure electric power. But within the EV family there are a few different branches. First up, we have fully electric vehicles, also known as battery electric vehicles or BEVs. These are the purists of the EV world. They run solely on electricity and have no gasoline engine whatsoever. Think of the Tesla Model 3, the Ford Mustang Mach-E, or the Audi e-tron. These are all BEVs. Then you've got hybrid vehicles, which combine a gasoline engine with an electric motor. These can run on electricity for short distances, but they primarily rely on gasoline. They're like the stepping stone into the EV world. And finally, we have plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, or PHEVs. These are similar to hybrids, but they have a larger battery and can be plugged in to charge, allowing for longer electric-only driving ranges. So you've got your BEVs, your hybrids, and your PHEVs, all part of the electrifying world of EVs. Now let's pop the hood, or should I say the battery compartment, and see what's going on under the hood of an EV. At the heart of every EV is the battery. This is where the magic happens. Think of it as the fuel tank for an electric car. It stores the electricity that powers the electric motor. Speaking of the motor, that's our next stop. The electric motor is responsible for converting electrical energy from the battery into mechanical energy, which turns the wheels and gets you moving. One of the coolest things about EVs is regenerative braking. Instead of traditional brakes that generate heat and waste energy, EVs use regenerative braking to capture that energy and send it back to the battery, extending your range. It's like getting a little energy boost every time you brake. Pretty cool, right? Let's address the elephant in the room, the cost. It's true that EVs tend to have a higher upfront purchase price compared to their gasoline-powered counterparts. But here's the catch. You've got to look at the bigger picture. Over the long haul, EVs can actually save you money. Think about it. No more trips to the gas station. Electricity is significantly cheaper than gasoline, especially with rising gas prices. Plus, EVs have fewer moving parts, which means less maintenance. No oil changes, no spark plug replacements, and fewer things that can break down. On top of that, many governments offer tax incentives and rebates for purchasing EVs, further sweetening the deal. So, while the initial sticker price might seem intimidating, the long-term cost savings and potential incentives make EVs a compelling option financially. Alright, let's talk about the environmental impact because that's a big one. EVs are often hailed as a greener alternative to traditional vehicles, and for good reason. The most significant advantage is zero tailpipe emissions. Since EVs don't burn fossil fuels, they produce zero emissions while driving, which means cleaner air for all of us. This is huge for combating air pollution, especially in urban areas. And because they don't rely on fossil fuels, EVs reduce our dependence on oil and the environmental hazards associated with its extraction and transportation. Plus, EVs are incredibly quiet. Say goodbye to engine noise and hello to a more peaceful driving experience. So not only are you reducing your carbon footprint, but you're also contributing to a quieter and healthier environment. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of charging. I mean, it's an electric vehicle, so you've got to juice it up somehow, right? Charging an EV is actually pretty straightforward. The most common way is to charge at home, just like you would charge your phone or laptop. There are a couple of options for home charging. Level 1 charging uses a standard 120-volt household outlet. It's the slowest charging method, but it's convenient if you're not in a hurry. Level 2 charging requires a dedicated 240-volt outlet, similar to what you'd use for an electric dryer. This provides faster charging and is the most common method for home charging. And then there's public fast charging, also known as DC fast charging or Level 3 charging. These chargers are typically found at public charging stations and can provide a significant amount of charge in a short amount of time, perfect for road trips or when you need a quick top-up. Installing a home charging station is easier than you might think. There are many reputable installers out there who can get you set up with a level 2 charger, making home charging a breeze. Now let's talk range anxiety. This is probably one of the biggest concerns for people considering EVs. How far can you actually go on a single charge? Well, it depends on a few factors. The most important factor is the battery capacity of your EV. Just like your phone's battery capacity determines how long it lasts, the EV's battery capacity dictates its range. Larger batteries generally provide longer ranges. Your driving habits also play a role. Aggressive driving like speeding and hard braking will drain your battery faster than smooth and steady driving. Weather conditions can also affect range. Extreme temperatures, both hot and cold, can impact battery performance, potentially reducing range, but don't worry, EV technology has come a long way and many EVs now offer impressive ranges, often exceeding 200 miles on a single charge, with some even surpassing 300 or 400 miles. Range anxiety is becoming a thing of the past. This is a question on everyone's mind, and rightfully so. If you're going electric, you need to know that you can charge your car when you're out and about. The good news is that charging infrastructure has been growing rapidly in recent years. Governments and private companies have been investing heavily in expanding the charging network, making it easier than ever to find a charger when you need one. Apps and websites like PlugShare and ChargeHub provide real-time information on charging station locations, availability, and charging speeds, making it super convenient to plan your trips. Charging deserts are becoming less common, and with the continued expansion of charging networks, range anxiety is becoming less and less of an issue. Alright, let's talk charging time. I know nobody wants to wait hours for their car to charge, but here's the thing, charging times vary depending on the charging method and the EV's battery size. Level 1 charging, as we discussed earlier, is the slowest method. It can take overnight or even longer to fully charge an EV using a standard outlet. Level 2 charging is significantly faster, typically taking a few hours to fully charge an EV, depending on the battery size. And then there's DC fast charging, the speed demon of the charging world. This method can provide a substantial charge in a short amount of time, often topping up your battery to 80% in under an hour for some EVs. It's worth noting that charging speed also depends on the state of charge of your battery. When the battery is low, it can accept charge at a faster rate, but as it gets closer to full, the charging speed slows down to protect the battery. Think of it like filling up a glass of water. You can pour quickly at first, but as it gets full, you need to slow down to avoid spilling. One of the best things about EVs is that they require significantly less maintenance than traditional gasoline-powered cars. Remember how we talked about fewer moving parts? Well, that translates to fewer things that can go wrong. No more oil changes, spark plug replacements, transmission flushes, or any of those messy and expensive maintenance tasks associated with gasoline engines. EVs are all about simplicity and efficiency. However, that doesn't mean EVs are completely maintenance-free. You'll still need to take care of the basics, like tire rotations, brake checks, and fluid top-offs, just like you would with any other car. But overall, the maintenance requirements for EVs are minimal, saving you time and money in the long run. Let's talk about battery longevity. The battery is the heart of an EV, so it's natural to wonder how long it will last. EV batteries are designed to be durable and long-lasting, and most manufacturers offer warranties of around 8 years or 100,000 miles, whichever comes first. But in reality, EV batteries can often last much longer than that, with some studies suggesting they could last for 10 years or even longer. Like all batteries, EV batteries do degrade over time, meaning they gradually lose their ability to hold a charge. This degradation is typically slow and gradual, and it's unlikely that you'll experience a sudden drop in range. Factors like extreme temperatures and frequent fast charging can accelerate battery degradation, but even with normal use, some degradation is expected over time. The good news is that EV battery technology is constantly improving, and newer batteries are becoming more durable and resistant to degradation. When an EV battery does reach the end of its lifespan, it doesn't just end up in a landfill. EV batteries contain valuable materials that can be recycled and repurposed, reducing waste and minimizing environmental impact. So while battery degradation is a factor to consider, it's not a deal breaker by any means. So, there you have it, the most frequently asked questions about electric vehicles answered. We've covered everything from the basics of EV technology to charging infrastructure, range, and maintenance. Hopefully, this video has given you a better understanding of the world of EVs and empowered you to make an informed decision. But the conversation doesn't end here. I want to hear from you. What other questions do you have about EVs? Share your thoughts, experiences, and questions in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future EV content. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one where we'll be diving into the exciting world of autonomous driving. Stay tuned.